Hello, mate.
Hello.
Hello.
Are we doing it again?
Yeah, we'll try it again.
One more time. You
One more
say
time.
one more
Will
time.
it work?
We go one more time.
Will it work?
Hello everybody and welcome to the update 3 video for Prison Architect. Now I'm certain that every single one of you must be aware by now that Prison Architect is coming to the Xbox 360, Xbox One and the PlayStation 4.
I'm certainly aware of that.
I was thinking you were going to whoop at that point.
Woo! Yeah!
So this project has been in development for quite a long time. I think we started it in about August last year, where we decided, having had a very bad experience with console builds in the past, that we would find the professionals to help us with this job. And professionals, I think we found in the guise of Double 11. They were the team behind the Goat Sim port for 360, Xbox One, and PlayStations 3 and 4. So they said they'd love to work on Prison Architect, and I said it would be great to have them along. And Chris kind of said, I don't want to do another console build.
Yeah, well, we did. We had a bad experience, didn't we, doing Darwinia for consoles?
Yeah, we did. For various reasons, many of which have been documented in the past. We're leaving that behind and moving on to looking at Prison Architect's foray onto the console. So the first thing, from your point of view, mate, you are the mother of Prison Architect.
The mother.
You're like the Earth Mother, right? Prison Architect is like your baby.
Okay.
So have Double 11 delivered.
Yeah, of course they've delivered, mate. I mean, it's been amazing. This build is so far above what we would have ever managed to do ourselves. I mean, we really did find some good guys to make this version, and it's a brilliant console version. I mean, what they did the thing that we never have the willingness or nerve to do, which is to reconsider the whole control scheme of the game and every user interface from the game. And I tell you, there's a lot of user interfaces in Prison Architect. Some better than others, I think it's fair to say.
Yeah.
And they redesigned every goddamn one of them. I remember being in a meeting with them quite early on in the process, and they'd done that. Remember that enormous flowchart?
Yeah.
Just this vast flowchart showing 100 odd screens that had been reconsidered for a joypad and for a TV screen in the living room. And they did all that work, and then they went ahead and did it. And
see, I was thinking about this. I was talking to somebody about this this kind of exact point the other day, because I said that I thought that they were better game designers than you, right? And I stopped myself and I thought, no, I don't mean that, right? And I was thinking quite hard about what I meant and why it happened. And this is what I think, right? You enjoy making games by making kind of quick prototypes, right?
Yeah.
A system comes into your mind and you want to get to the best implementation of that system as fast as you can and then play it.
Yeah.
And sort of do the bare minimum on the interface to make it work, and you'll polish it up a bit, but that's not really what you like doing, is it?
Okay.
Is that fair?
I've spent 5 fucking years working on this game. 5 years!
Yeah.
This is just like the most horrific, damning praise I've ever heard. So I think that perhaps what you're getting at in your incredibly inelegant way is that you're saying that the type of game design that I and we do at Introversion is actually system-driven, mechanics-driven gameplay, and the systems and mechanics under Prison Architect on the console are the same. But everything sat on top of that has been redone. It's going to be quite a different experience playing it on the consoles, I think.
Well, let's take a look at that experience.
Oh, that's a nice screen, isn't it? Look at that. I mean, this is the main menu, and already it's quite different. They had this idea right from the start that they wanted to see Prison Architect in the background, constantly while the game, even while you're in the menu. It's called an attract mode, isn't it?
Yeah, that's right.
I think it's something that took us about 6 months to do on Darwinia originally.
Yeah, well, it took you 5.5 months of saying you weren't going to do attract mode.
Yeah.
And I couldn't make you.
It was all my fault, wasn't it, Mark? It was all my fault.
It was Right, shut up. Let's see it.
All
People want to
right,
see it.
all
They don't
right.
want to listen to you.
Yeah, all right. Should we have a
But
look?
thank you for your apology. I appreciate
Yeah, all
it.
right, that's great, mate. I'm glad we cleared that up. Should we go for what should we look at? Should we have a general overview of what you can do in the main menu?
Yes.
I'll show you stuff, right? So the prison, they've changed the names of some things. So Prison Stories is the campaign, right? So this is the tutorial campaign that we created for the game, and you can see the chapters all there available to play. We don't want to play that, but I'm just showing you that that's where it is. Now this is interesting. Under New Game, we've got two choices. We can go for Prison Architect mode, which says start with an empty plot of land and design and build your entire prison from scratch. That's essentially the sandbox mode from PC. Or Prison Warden mode, where we can choose from several pre-built prisons and take immediate control. Right? Very, very interesting stuff.
Yeah.
Right? So you don't necessarily have to start completely from a blank canvas. And then there is the World of Wardens.
Oh, that's such a good name, isn't it?
A World of Wardens is kind of it's analogous to Steam Workshop prison sharing. Right? So on the PC and on the Mac, anyone who makes a prison can share it via Steam. Obviously, such a thing doesn't exist in the same way on the console, and so they've made World of Wardens. We're not going to show that today, but it's a method for prison sharing. I think that you and I both think that prison sharing is one of the huge draws for Prison Architect, like being able to see other people's amazing work. And we always wanted that in the game, didn't we? I think.
We did. I think it's critical.
All right, should we go for it then? Should
Let's
we go for a new game?
Yeah,
Empty
new
plot
game.
of land. See, even this is different, isn't it?
Yeah, look at this.
Straight away, the interface. So we'll pick which warden should we have? Should we have?
Was that Rita?
Yeah, let's have Rita, shall we?
Ruthless and terrifying. Yeah, definitely. we'll
She's
have
good.
Rita.
All right. So let's start with some basic construction, shall we? Let's do the things that we would normally do at this point, if we wanted to build a new prison from nothing.
Yep.
So on the D-pad, you can see at the bottom, it tells me I can push left on the D-pad to bring up the construction menu, and we get this new form of menu. Now this is similar to the old mouse-driven menu, where you had sort of foundations, and then walls, and then floors, and then rooms, and so on.
Yep.
But straight away, they've done some things to make life a bit easier for us. So under the structure menu, we'll find our options for building a new building. And I can move the view around like this with my right thumbstick, or I can move my mouse cursor independently with my left thumbstick.
Okay.
All right, and I can do both. So let's make a building like this.
Yep.
You know, even stuff like the way the menu gets out your way when you're building, I think is really cool.
Yeah,
See how
yeah.
it just fades out like that? Yeah. Little
That's what I was talking about. That's like the little detail that you wouldn't do.
Yeah, exactly. I wouldn't do that stuff.
You would go, I don't need to do that because they can play in the top half of the screen.
Yeah, you can just zoom out. What's wrong with these people?
Yeah, exactly. But it just makes it nicer, richer.
Yeah,
you know?
absolutely.
Quality.
Now this menu is like a quick launch menu for building buildings. So as well as foundations, we've also have doors under here. Right?
Okay.
The different types of key doors that you might want, different
Yep.
types of walls and fences. There's no menu like this on the PC version. It's like a quick launch menu for quickly assembling buildings. You know, let's put a door down here, shall we say?
Yep.
There we go. And so if I want to move, you can see there's a consistent menu starting to appear here. I can use the D-pad to move here,
Yeah.
and I can use the bumper buttons to move this section. Right, and so I can flick through the different views that are available to us. So the structure menu is where we build our new buildings. Walls and doors is kind of analogous to our old walls menu, our old menu where we used to be able to build walls and lay things down. But you see how they've already done things like moving the doors around so they're easier to get to. Flooring types, I think I want to have a little bit of a pathway around here, like this. There we go. So you can see, you should be able to tell the underlying simulation is essentially identical.
Yeah.
Like this view of the game, it's the same. Right? They've kept the game the same. The simulation is the same. The thing that's changed is all of this, isn't it? This is where the majority of their work has gone. You know. Let's see. We need to have some power, don't we?
Yes, we do.
Power supply. Let's put down a power station over here, and some electrical cables. There we go. That should do the trick. Maybe a bit more. I think this is on with the point on the PC version where I accelerate time and hire some more workmen.
Yeah.
Actually, they're about finished. Yeah, so if you want to hire some more workmen, for example, it's right on the D-pad, and then you go to hire staff, and then under here you can find workmen and a couple of guards in preparation. There we go. Things are starting to happen.
Stand them down.
Whilst they're building, I mean, you see on the top left it says to do 0 of 3. So it's like the old to do menu that we used to have, usually in the top left of the screen. You press the button and you get up this new to do screen that tells you what you want to do. So this is telling me that I need to read the CEO's letter, my intake is currently closed, and I need to feed all my prisoners. Well, there aren't any prisoners yet, so there's nothing to look at. But each of these is a quick link, right? So this one takes me to the CEO's letter, and the next one takes me to the logistics screen. And so it's already telling me that I need to hire a warden.
Yeah.
Right? So the PC version, like we were always like, nah, figure it out.
Yeah.
Go and read a wiki or something. They've gone a different way with that, and so the to-do list starts to intelligently populates itself with things that you should be doing. So if you hire a warden, for example, this takes me straight to the warden screen. Sorry, to the hire staff screen where I can hire Rita, our warden.
Oh, here we go.
And it's telling me I need an office, but now it's changed. So now it's telling me I want to build a holding cell, and I want to build a kitchen. They're like optional objectives that show up in the to-do screen.
Just gives you that little bit of direction if you want to follow it.
Exactly. If you've got no idea what the hell you're doing. Now Rita needs an office. Now this is interesting. Under construction, there's a new menu called D11 carousel _ quick build.
Wow, that's a good name.
And the hint message is D11 construction hints quick rooms. Right? Not quite finished yet. Right, but this is the quick build menu. Now, under the quick build menu, we have a series of existing kind of prefabs that you might want to use. So that's a solitary cell.
Yeah. That's
an office. What else can you do? A luxury cell. See, a luxury cell there's just got everything in it. And you can stamp the whole thing down in one go. Nice. So I can let's go for D11 _ quick office.
Yeah.
We're mocking D11 a bit here, aren't we?
Well, it is still in development, this build. So
yeah.
I think our fans are used to seeing a little bit of rough around the edges.
A fair amount of mocking.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
And some mocking.
So,
yeah.
So you see, so what I did there is I stamped down the entire office in one go. So that includes the foundations, the objects that go inside it, the room designation, all of that. It's all available, and of course you can still do all of that exactly as you would do on the PC version if you wish to. It's just a nice little quick menu. All right, let's connect that up. A little bit of pathway. What else do we want to do? We want a holding cell, don't we?
I think we need one, really.
Holding cell. So I'm not explaining in depth what buttons I'm pressing, but I think that it's pretty...
I think that would get fairly boring, right?
I think
you would sat there going, and now I have to press B,
up,
now I press that,
down.
It would be, I mean, I'm used to being bored by you. I've spent many hours in the pub listening to you drone on. But, that would take your chat to a new level.
Thanks for that, mate. I appreciate that. There you go. So there's Rita in the warden's office. So this is probably an appropriate time to go and start doing some research. Normally you would click in the top left of the screen, but obviously no such thing exists on the console. So you push right on the D-pad and then go to bureaucracy. Right? Here's our bureaucracy screen. Oh, look at that.
It's lovely, man.
That's a work of art, isn't it?
I hated your corkboard.
Did you?
Yeah.
Did you really hate it?
Really hated it.
Yeah.
I thought it was so ugly.
Yeah, it was a bit of a relic, wasn't it? From a from a time gone past.
Just look at how shiny this is.
I know. So let's give us some work to do. Let's have everyone unlock security. So you can pick things like surveillance, say, here, and you can press X and get more information on it as well. So they've locked away all the stuff that we typically put in tooltips.
Yeah.
Has generally gone onto the blue button on your Xbox as a little bit of extra information.
Or your PS4.
Or your PS4, yeah. All right. So for example, like the holding cell that we're building, and it says view missing items. Press X. If you do that, you get a sort of overview of what you need to build. So it's saying the size is fine, it's enclosed and it's indoors, but we need a toilet and bench.
Yep.
It's all the same information that we gave the PC users. It's just presented quite differently.
Yeah.
Let's see. So that's construction, objects, and as you zoom in on a room, just like on the PC version, it hot highlights the things that you're likely to need.
Yep.
So let's put some toilets in. Let's have some benches. A few benches. What else do we need? Shower heads. So they've got a little water icon on it. And see, it's got a little drip of water on this icon. Just giving you another little bit of contextual hint again that you know that's likely to need an extra water supply.
Yep.
Let's see. Oh, we've got toilets. We want a phone booth. Let's see. And I think I'll do it, won't it? I need a water supply. So power supply and water supply have been separated now. So this is the old electricity view. This is the water supply view. So it's telling me I've got all this stuff that doesn't yet have any water. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to connect that baby up. You know, it's surprising how quickly you just kind of, when you first play it, you're kind of going like, what do I press? What do I press when and things? But quite quickly, you just play it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's a good sign, I think.
Well, that way, exactly. It's one of those things where it's kind of like good design is hidden, isn't it?
Exactly.
You don't notice good design.
If it was the perfect design, nobody would ever even notice
that
it existed.
It's only bad design that you get picked up on.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, good. So we can see that's going on. Let's accelerate time. All right, so while we wait for our prisoners to arrive, we should probably fess up at something, shouldn't we, at this point?
We should. We need to.
We should fess up something important, which is that this is actually a dev build running on a PC. Right? This is not running on a console like an Xbox One or anything like that. The reasons why we're doing that are that, well, when we do these videos, we're not co-located, are we? Like,
No,
we're not in the same room, right? So the way that we typically do this shit is that I Skype you and then screen share.
That's right.
So I'm screen sharing, so you can see what I'm running at the same time as I'm recording the video and audio of our conversation.
That's right. That's how we normally do it. That's how we've done it for 3 years, and it's served us very well, hasn't it?
Exactly. 37 or 38 updates now, or something like that. So I requested a PC build from the D11 guys. Now their tech is so swish that they're able to do the same code tree. You can do them a PC build, an Xbox One build, a PS4 build, an Xbox 360 build, all from the same code base. They can build anything. And so we thought the best thing to do would be to record using a PC build and then use our traditional method of recording. If we hadn't done it this way, we'd be looking at playing the game on my Xbox One test kit, which I have in the corner of the room. And we did look at that, didn't we? Like buying some hardware to record HDMI output. But it's just kind of too many things new in one go, you know. So we kind of steered clear of that approach. I've just remembered my intake is closed, so I need to request some intake. So from the to-do menu, I can select intake, and this is the new intake screen.
Nice. It just looks lovely, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. It does. It looks really good. They've done a great job. Like, you've got to hand it to them. They've done a really good job on the interface. And you see how there's little hints at the bottom as well. There's Rita telling us, the above intake of prisoners will be arriving shortly. Do you have their cells ready? Yeah. You can adjust these numbers right up until the moment they arrive, you know. So it's just there's Rita's there giving us a little contextual hint, you know. Yeah. And again, I can flick through all the traditional views that we had in the game. So this is the grant screen, for example. Mm-hmm. So we hadn't even looked at this, have we? So this used to be a report on the right-hand side of the screen, but obviously that would never have worked on the console. So this is all the grants that are available to you in the game. Nice. And I think we're working towards this one, aren't we? A basic detention centre. But again, at the bottom of the screen, you get a little, there's the accountant, and she's saying, turn an empty field into a functioning prison. This government contract gives you the funds necessary to build the absolute minimum facilities to your first set of prisoners. So what's essentially happening is that they're taking the help text that we wrote for the grants, but they're contextualizing it as if one of your characters is telling you this. So I can pick a grant and press A on it and get more information about the grant, right? So now we're seeing like the payments that are going to come to us and specifically what objectives we're going to have to fulfill in order to achieve this thing. So let's accept that. Right, that takes our grant, and that now shows up under our to-do list down here, basic detention centre. And that's how far we've got. We've got as far as building a holding cell and hiring at least 2 guards. Right? Pretty cool stuff, right?
Nice. How does it perform?
Well, it's running at 60 frames per second. Right. Pretty solid.
Good. That's great.
And it will run at 60 frames per second on the Xbox One and the PS4. Yep. And I believe they're targeting 30 frames per second on the Xbox 360.
Fair enough.
which I think is pretty darn incredible.
Yeah, yeah.
Given how old that Xbox One, Xbox 360 is. Oh no, so actually that guy is giving me a hint, something that even I didn't realize, and I designed the goddamn game, which is that our power generator is overloaded. Ooh. Yes, this is looking good, isn't it? So I think we're on our way to building a decent prison, and we've got some prisoners. We can see information about them by clicking on them. Here we go. Here's Benjamin Navarro, and here's his report. Again, all these screens have just been completely reconceived for this new paradigm of like the sort of horizontal bar at the bottom half of the screen, you know? And I can cycle through it using my bumper buttons and look at all of his information. These screens are really quite beautiful, actually, aren't they? They're looking really quite nice. And I can see his current gradings, all the information that's been happening to him whilst he's been in our prison. Here's his biography. It's cool, man. It's really cool.
It's very cool. Now, any of you that want to see even more of the D11 console build can do so, because we're going to, well, if we can get the tech to work, we're going to record a playthrough with Gaz, designer Gaz. You know, we've got Johnny Programmer.
Yeah.
We've got designer Gaz now.
Yeah.
And we're going to do it. We're going to try and do a playthrough with Gaz, and he's going to talk to us about some of these decisions and things. So that's going to be a different video uploaded to the YouTube channel where we're really going to go into a lot more detail on that. So
we'll do like our own let's play of Prison Architect on the console.
Yeah, it's going to be epic.
Should we have a look at a bigger prison?
Why not?
Yeah. Let's go to our let's exit game. Yes. Back to the main menu. So what we do is we go to new game, and then we say prison warden, right? And then we have a set of pre-built prisons to pick from.
Look at these.
Now you might recognise some of these.
I do recognise some of these.
Yeah, these are all fan-made prisons from the Steam Workshop.
Right.
And we cherry-picked some of the nicest prisons. Look at the size of that beast. Should we have a look at that one?
Yeah, let's have a look at that.
The Scrivers.
I asked about performance. I mean, the fact that they're packaging that up.
Yeah. No, they're very confident that this runs perfectly on the Xbox, and I've tried it on my Xbox test kit, and it just runs at a solid 60 frames per second, despite having a capacity for 500 prisoners to run around.
Size of that thing.
Look at the size of that thing. I think it's a nice thing that they've packaged up some really big prisons to look at. You know, I think Prison Architect is still an intimidating game to play, and you know, seeing some big established prisons and messing with them is a really cool facility. You know, nice. I think we've pretty much seen enough of that, haven't we?
I think we have for now. We'll be touching it in the future update videos and things, but for now, we hope you're as excited as we are about this. Even if you don't have a console, more people playing Prison Architect can only be a good thing.
Right, let's move on.
We should probably tell the internet that we've had a 2-hour break, because after all the fanning around this morning, your Virgin internet connection went down, didn't it?
It finally died on us.
Thanks, Virgin.
Thanks for that, Virgin Media. And it's still down, and now I'm on my backup internet connection. And oh my god, it's been a bit of a nightmare, to be honest, of technical challenges today, hasn't it?
But we're getting there, aren't we?
I think earlier on you were actually watching the screen via a FaceTime iPhone link, and I was recording using NVIDIA Shadowplay on my PC, and I was recording our audio on ScreenFlow on a different Mac, and there was wires everywhere, and I was wearing 2 pairs of headphones.
People have no idea how much, how hard it is for us to make these videos. They think that we just knock them out, It's not one out.
They think we just make this shit up as we go along,
it's so
don't they?
complicated.
Yeah.
So complicated. Right, anyway, the desktop version, core people, our core audience, our fans, our backers, they're exciting. It's January, it's miserable time of year, and they're thinking to themselves, shall I kill myself or shall I wait for the next Prison Architect update?
That's a bit harsh, right?
But that's a great time to be staying in and playing Prison Architect.
Should we look at some new features?
Yeah, let's look at some new stuff.
All right. We don't have quite as much as usual to show because we've been pretty busy with that and other things that we were showing earlier, and other secret things. But we do have some nice. We did a lot of bug fixing this month. Now I've opened this prison specifically because this is the women's prison that I was showing you last time.
Yes, I've done some work.
If you remember, these ladies were all in the process of digging an epic escape tunnel.
That's right, they were.
All the way down here.
Yeah.
which is fine because I'm cheating and I know it's there. But basically, if you find out about this when they're all the way down here, right at the edge, you are stuffed. You're stuffed in a big way.
Right.
So what you need is guard towers.
Guard towers. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh, he's Ryan is so good, isn't he?
Ryan is very good. Yeah. So
guard tower. We've needed these for so long.
Oh, we have. We've been far too slack on our prisoners, haven't we? Right, let's put some guard towers in. Let's have some. You can put them wherever you like. I mean, you don't have to put them at the edge of the map. You can put them right in the middle of your yard if you like. Like here's a yard.
Make everyone just feel, kind of like happy.
Maybe
and
if you want,
secure.
yeah,
that they're being looked at.
They're being
protected.
overwatched. Exactly.
Yeah.
Those guards are gonna keep them safe if they ever get into trouble. I should mention that you have to unlock it. You see, that's why it's not showing up yet. Under security, armory guard towers. Right? So we can cheat and unlock this. There we go. Guard
It's a strange
towers.
icon. What? It looks like it's got.
Well, you see,
Operation Desert Storm.
someone has to man the guard tower, don't they?
Okay.
See, guard towers aren't going to man themselves.
Oh no.
Right. Right. So let's fast forward things. So you hire these new guys called snipers. All right.
Yeah, sniper.
No.
All right.
So what these guys are basically is they're just what they say on the tin. Basically, they'll go straight to your armory if you have one. Because they're not actually snipers when they first arrive. They're just guards that man the guard tower.
Okay.
If you don't have an armory, they will just overwatch your prison, and they have like a suppressing effect. Right, so you can see here's our guards in the guard tower overwatching. Right, now these guys won't really do anything because there's no one here. Right, there's no prisoners down here, so they don't really have any effect. But these guys here, these guard towers here that are overlooking the yard, because they've got permanent overwatch of the entire yard, it creates a suppressing effect.
And do they signal the alarm if shit start going down?
Yeah, absolutely. But really, their main use is going to be when you have an armory, isn't it? Now, I think what we should do is build an armory.
Yes.
For the purposes of this demonstration. I think that this staff room is no longer needed.
I think it's about to become a bad day for some of these girls.
Yeah.
I'm just sensing.
Yeah. Nice. Right. So there we go. So there's our.
So what have they got then? Have they got sniper rifles?
They've got scoped rifles. Yeah.
Scoped rifles.
There we go. So So you've got a choice here. I mean, you've got similar issues with your armed guards generally, in the sense that they create positive and negative effects. Obviously, the big positive to these things are that they are largely the end of people escaping through escape tunnels.
Yeah.
Because even if, I mean, on this map actually it doesn't help you, because on this map, if they pop out here, on the other side of this wall, it's only one square to freedom.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's no use to you there. But if you set up your prison in a sensible way and had layers of security, your guard towers would give you oversight, so if they popped up at any point, they'd be shot at. So, I was going to explain, we're having all manner of technical problems today, I was going to explain what happens with your snipers, wasn't I?
You were.
So let's skip forward to nighttime, because the rules of engagement of your snipers are a bit funny. Right, so your snipers will not just blow the heads off everyone that happens to cause trouble within their line of sight, because
you wouldn't expect them to do that.
You wouldn't expect them to do that. There's one exception, which is that if the hello, so that's interesting. All right, well we'll just skip right on ahead. So what happened was the escape tunnel got rumbled, and a load of the women who were digging the escape tunnel have busted out of the escape tunnel and are making a run for it.
Right.
And you see our snipers are already training their sights on them.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
But they're not just going to open fire, because it's right in the middle of the prison, right?
Yeah.
There's guards everywhere, right? You don't need to blow their heads off, right? The guards are going to be able to take care of it. Now, we can let the guards take care of it. The snipers will fire warning shots at the girls.
No, I wouldn't want to be the guards with warning shots.
Yeah, warning shot bouncing around the place.
Stop fucking shooting at me!
Jesus!
Jesus!
It was a warning shot.
Yes, fucking warn me!
I could shoot the wings off a fly. Should we wheel out some deep South American offensive caricatures while we're at it?
Yeah, no one believes it's not set in the States.
Yeah,
It doesn't matter what we tell them.
it is set in the States. Let's just start saying that.
You should just say, yeah, let the conspiracy theorists,
Exactly.
come in and say, no, it's not.
So, under what circumstances will a sniper blow a prisoner's head off? Right. There are three circumstances in which a sniper will blow a prisoner's head off. One, the prisoner is already outside the walls,
Okay.
such as out here. He is in the insecure zone, in which case he'll get no warning shots. He'll just be shot.
Right.
Two, you turn on free fire, right? And your free fire rules of engagement clearly state that you can fire at will.
Right.
Right. Or three, if none of those things are true, your snipers will fire warning shots at the prisoners, as I was explaining, and after 2 or 3 warning shots, they'll shoot to kill. Okay?
Yep.
Is that all making sense?
Yep.
Which option would you like to take in this scenario?
I would like to take the warning shot option.
You wuss. All right, well, we'll let it play out then.
I've got a big heart, haven't I?
So, you see these women have all surrendered.
Right.
Right. So there were one warning shot fired. Just one. And just like shotguns going off and guns going off, once bullets start flying, prisoners tend to surrender quite quickly.
Right. Yeah.
So that was very, very effective, that actually stopped your guards from having to do much fighting.
Yeah.
Because the women just surrendered straight away. It's
very powerful. Very powerful.
Very powerful. It's kind of like having an armed guard there, only without the risk of the armed guard losing his shotgun and the shotgun being taken by prisoners. Yeah, very, very powerful. But very dangerous, because once they're in that... once you turn on free fire, which you sometimes have to do, or once they see prisoners outside the prison, or once they fire warning shots and the prisoners are too involved in their fight to really care, it's going to be a bloodbath, Much like your armed guards, you have to use them carefully.
Right.
They also contribute to the overall temperature of your prison, in much the same way that armed guards do. They raise the temperature of your prison because prisoners don't like being watched by snipers all day long.
Yeah, sort of 24/7 suppression. I wouldn't want to be under the eye of
Absolutely.
guards in towers.
It also suppresses them, though. So if you do, you can use them as well. If you built one over a yard or over a public area or something like that, they have the suppressing effect, right? Just like there are armed guards in there. So it depends if you want that or not. We see a lot of people saying, "My prisoners are all suppressed, and now I can't get them to pass any education programs."
Yeah.
Yeah. And you can.
Like that's the point.
Yes, that's right, because they're they don't want to live.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? So that's the effect that you get. But I mean, they are a wonderful addition to the edges of your prison. A very good, a final level of security. If I was building a prison, I would put them right at the edge, or even outside the edge of the prison.
Yeah.
Because
just for that
when it's too late and they've made it through somehow.
Brilliant.
Shall we have a look at another feature?
Yes, let's.
Let's. So here's a visitation room, right? Visitation hasn't had any love for quite some time, actually. As you know, family members come to visitation and exchange pleasantries.
And drugs.
Cigarettes, lighters, drugs, booze, cell phones, you name it, can be exchanged in visitation. Well, we might not want that. We might want to do something about that, mightn't we?
We might. That might not be good for
So,
the welfare of our prisoners.
Let's dismantle all of the visitation booths that are in our visitation building.
Right, you are.
Because this is the nice way to do visitation. And in its place, we're going to build a new thing called a visitor booth.
Okay.
Now, a visitor booth.
I know what's coming.
This is a secure visitor booth in which the participants have to communicate by telephone.
Yeah.
So we want to swap that around. It tells us which way around it's going to be. So we want that way around, don't we? Prisoners at the top, visitors at the bottom.
Yeah.
Right, so let's go. There we go. And we'll need a little bit of wall there to finish that off.
Yeah, or door.
Or a door. That would do it.
Like dooring, because then you can let the guards, they can like walk through and stuff, can't they?
Nice. All right, so we'll just wait for that to get built. Now you'll notice straight away several things. There's a lot less visitation possible.
Yes.
Because we've created this, we've been forced to
space up,
we've divided the room in two, and you have to physically divide and separate the prisoners from the visitors. Otherwise, obviously, it's pointless. Where are my workmen? Where are they? Hurry up, workmen.
I guess you could build a kind of corridor. Could you build? Yeah, you could build walls and a sort of corridor structure, couldn't you? So that you could have more than one row in that room.
Yeah. There's definitely more. There's definitely better layouts that you could do, but you still have to ultimately have one side meeting on one side and the other side meeting on the other side.
And they have to be separated. So it is in any given space there are going to be fewer visitor booths than friendly tables.
Yes. So you can see now in our deployment screen, it's now been separated into 2 separate zones. Nice. So we can have 2 guards here, maybe, or maybe 3 guards here if you wanted to, and maybe only 1 on this side. But they are completely separate zones. So this door is the staff door. Let's lock that one open. So our visitors arrive and our prisoners will arrive.
Good.
And under intelligence now, you'll notice that this room is no longer a source of contraband.
Really? Wow, that effective.
Well, they can't touch each other, you know?
Just can't do it, yeah.
There is no contact. There is no physical contact between the 2 sides.
Can you earwig on the phones?
It's a very good question, and yes, you will be able to. Right. You mean using the phone tap, don't you?
That's right.
The phone tap is a very good idea, and we don't have that at the moment. Look at that, there's a mother with baby. Oh, look at that, Catherine Dennington. Oh, and it's her father. Aww. But you see, it's all good and bad, right? It's good that there's no contraband, but this visitation booth is significantly less effective at dealing with their family needs and their general happiness than a normal visitation booth, because they're behind a glass screen and they're talking through a telephone, and there's a lot less humanity in this form of visitor booth. But, you know, if you're having major issues with drugs coming in diapers and stuff, or whatever.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, your max sex and things, and, you know, are all going to want this kind of ability to pare back the
quite right. Yeah, absolutely. So you could say if you're maximum security, then you only get to have this level of contact with your visitors. Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, there you go. So there's our new features for update 3.
Not quite.
Oh my god. You're kidding me. Surely.
People often say, right, I don't know what Mark does.
They've been saying that for a long time.
They have, and I was reading the internet the other day, and someone says, I don't know what Chris does. He just sits there going, and someone wrote, no, that's Mark does that. And they were like, yeah, I don't know what Mark does.
Yeah, well, and historically, history would tell us that by the end of this conversation, we still won't know.
Well, I have produced work.
Okay, all right, let's see it.
Right. So pop open a browser window.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Go to prison-architect.com.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah. /register.
Yeah.
There you go. Now that, of course, is the registration scheme that everyone sees when they first run the game and they want to pop in their details. This is our little thing for trailers to find out whether we're making money.
Interesting.
Now, if it won't work if you log in as you, right? Because you've got face in the game.
Ah.
See, because you're a guy.
Yeah.
Face in the game, right? We can't give you a woman's body.
I see.
That was a policy decision that we made, rightly or...
Is that something we're going to change? We don't sell face in the game anymore, do we?
No, we don't. Exactly.
So we don't have any female face in the games.
Exactly.
Right.
So what I wanted to do is I was going to turn you into a girl, you see,
right.
and then but I can't. But log in with the username Ted, right?
All right.
Right. So here you go. You're logged in. Now, look at this. Go to Name and Game Editor.
Name and Game Editor.
Name and Game Editor.
Yes.
And look at that.
So I can be male or female.
Yeah. Look at that. And you can use the little things to change. Look at the little haircuts that you've got.
That's awesome. That's the skin colour, isn't it?
Color. Yeah, that's the same skin colour, but you can have the different types.
Outstanding.
So there you go. And
so you can be the teardrop. You can be the.
I don't know what it is.
They're not very flattering female shapes, are they?
So the same rules as before. You know, you log in, you type your name in, you type your bio in, and then it goes through to approval. You know, to make sure that people don't write anything horrible into the bio. So anybody can change their characters from male to female, should they so desire, or people can now register female characters.
Wow!
And
so you're saying any name in the game customer
That's right.
that has already got a name in the game can now become a woman.
If should they so desire, exactly that. They can.
Wow.
They can indeed. And we already have some.
Hmm.
We already have some.
Do we really?
I asked Johnny, yeah, because this has been running soft launch. I soft launched it.
Ah, so some people have already filled in their bio as women.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes. Exactly.
And they'll be in
Right?
update 3.
Yes, they will. Scarlet Starkiller Nova and
Wow.
Janine Slagger, George Molly.
That's very nice, mate.
Yes. So
Well done.
yes. So there you go. So they will be appearing in game as of update 3.
Wow. Well done, mate. Well done. That's really cool.
Yeah, we did well, didn't we?
I think we've done a remarkable amount this month. And all that stuff we can't tell anyone about.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Secret other stuff. So that is the end of the update video for Prison Architect in January. Join us at the end of February for our next update video, where we'll show you some of the new stuff in the console build and also a load of new stuff that will gone into the PC build. If you've not already bought Prison Architect, head over to prison-architect.com and buy it to join in. And we will see you all in a month. Mark and Chris signing off.
Oh, yeah.